paint a story.
The bakery that made magical bread. The small bakery on Willow Street was easy to miss. Its wooden sign hung, slightly crooked above the door, and the windows were always foggy from the warmth inside. Most people walked past without noticing it, but every morning, the smell of fresh cinnamon bread drifted through the neighborhood like a quiet invitation. Inside the bakery worked a cheerful old man named Mr. Kareem. He wore round glasses, flour-covered aprons, and always hummed soft songs while kneading dough. Nobody knew much about him because he rarely talked about his past, but everyone agreed on one thing: his bread tasted different from anywhere else. Every customer who stepped into the bakery seemed to leave happier than before. Some walked out smiling to themselves, while others suddenly became emotional without understanding why. Parents laughed more with their children, neighbors greeted one another kindly, and even tired workers looked lighter after visiting the bakery. Across the street lived a curious 14-year-old girl named Lena. She often watched the bakery from her bedroom window after school. Every evening, she noticed long lines of customers waiting outside, even during rainy weather. One afternoon, Lena finally decided to visit the bakery herself. As she opened the door, a tiny bell rang above her head. Warm golden light filled the room, and shelves of fresh bread covered the walls from top to bottom. Mr. Kareem greeted her with a kind smile. "First time here?" he asked gently. Lena nodded as she stared at the colorful pastries. Some were covered in honey, while others sparkled with powdered sugar like fresh snow. Mr. Kareem handed her a small piece of warm bread. "Try this," he said. The moment Lena took a bite, something strange happened. Suddenly, she remembered a forgotten moment from her childhood, sitting beside her mother during a thunderstorm while they baked cookies together in the kitchen. She could almost hear the rain tapping against the windows and smell melted chocolate in the air. The memory disappeared as quickly as it came, but the warm feeling remained in her chest. Lena looked up in shock. "How did you do that?" she whispered. Mr. Kareem only smiled and continued kneading dough as if nothing unusual had happened. For the next few weeks, Lena visited the bakery almost every day. Each pastry brought back a different happy memory. One reminded her of riding a bicycle for the first time. Another reminded her of a picnic with her father before he moved away for work. Soon, Lena realized the magical bread affected everyone differently. An elderly woman once burst into tears after tasting a cinnamon roll because it reminded her of dancing with her husband many years ago. A tired delivery driver suddenly laughed after remembering a childhood prank he had nearly forgotten. The bakery did not just sell bread. It returned lost happiness. One evening, Lena stayed after closing time to help clean the tables, while wiping flour from the counter. She finally gathered the courage to ask the question that had been bothering her for weeks. "Why does your bread bring back memories?" Mr. Kareem became unusually quiet. For a moment, only the ticking wall clock could be heard. Then he slowly opened an old wooden drawer beneath the counter and pulled out a faded photograph. It showed a younger version of himself standing beside a smiling woman in front of the same bakery. "That was my wife," he said softly. "She believed food should do more than fill stomachs. She believed it should remind people of the love they once felt." Lena listened carefully as Mr. Kareem explained the bakery's secret. Years ago, his wife had created special recipes using ingredients connected to emotion and memory: cinnamon for comfort, honey for warmth, vanilla for peace, and chocolate for joy. She claimed that when baked with genuine care, the bread carried feelings people thought they had lost forever. After his wife passed away, Mr. Kareem continued baking her recipes so her kindness would never disappear from the world. From that day on, Lena started helping in the bakery every weekend. She learned how to knead dough properly, decorate cakes, and greet nervous customers with kindness. As months passed, the bakery became even more popular. People traveled from distant towns just to taste the magical bread everyone talked about online. But one winter morning, trouble arrived. A wealthy businessman visited the bakery and offered Mr. Kareem a huge amount of money to buy the recipes. He wanted to open hundreds of stores across the country and sell the magical bread everywhere. When Mr. Kareem politely refused, the businessman became angry. "You're wasting a fortune," he snapped. "People would pay anything for this." The businessman left the bakery frustrated, but Lena noticed something important. For the first time, she understood why the bakery felt so special. It was never really about magic. It was about sincerity. The warmth of the smiles, the patience in the baking, and the kindness shared between strangers were what truly brought people happiness. Years later, when Mr. Kareem finally retired, he handed Lena the old recipe book tied together with a faded blue ribbon. "You already know the real ingredient," he told her with a smile. Lena continued running the bakery exactly as he had taught her. And every evening, as the golden lights glowed through the windows and the smell of fresh cinnamon bread drifted through Willow Street, people continued entering the tiny bakery carrying heavy hearts and leaving with something they thought they had lost forever. As the lights of the little bakery continued glowing through Willow Street, people kept arriving with heavy hearts and leaving with smiles they thought they had forgotten forever. Thank you for watching Paint a Story. Subscribe for more magical stories, mysteries, and unforgettable adventures.